Alright, so I'm going to show how to open up and disassemble this Dell Inspiron model 5570. So first thing we're going to do is remove all the screws from the bottom. It looks like several screws are already missing, but yeah, we're going to use a PH1 or JS1 screwdriver, okay? And just remove all the screws here. So to keep them in order, I like to put them flat side down on my desk in the pattern I remove them. So as you can see, there's 3 here, and then you go across here, so there's like 3, or you can count that as 4. Whichever way helps you remember best, and that's how I do it. Alright, if this video helps you, make sure to like, subscribe, and share my channel with others so that they can also learn how to repair their computers. If it helps you save a bunch of money, please consider throwing a little my way. Every little bit helps. Even $1 is greatly appreciated. Alright, so let's go ahead. We're missing all, 2 screws here. Okay, and then we're missing 1 down there. Okay, we're going to remove the CD drive. I use my fingernail like this while I kind of go up and down to slide the CD drive out. Okay, then there's 2 screws under the CD drive here. Make sure to remove those as well. Okay, just like that. Alright, then we got 3 more screws here. So if there's any screws on yours, make sure to remove those. This one's missing the screws. It looks like the screws on the bottom here stay in place. So I got these 3. It's very similar to the 5770 model that I just worked on. Alright, let's go ahead and open this up. So there's a gap here between the palm rest and the bottom cover. So what I do is I get my fingernails in there just like that, and then I use my thumbs on the bottom to pop the clips out just like this. Okay, now that we got the bottom out, let's go ahead and close it up and go ahead and move to the sides. Same thing, go ahead and pop the clips up. Okay, just like this, working your way around. Okay, and then for these clips, you kind of have to move this little plastic piece a little bit while you kind of pull it. So the clips go over this way, and then the plastic goes underneath that way. So we're gonna move the plastic tab this way as we kind of like try and pull it up. Actually, I might be wrong because this one's the other way. So yeah, okay, so we're actually pulling the plastic tab out this way and then pulling it up just like that. There we go, so we got that unclipped. Still feels clipped right here in this corner here, so let's make sure we get those clips out. There we go. Okay, once you get all the clips out, see here, okay, then we kind of just wiggle this and try and pull this up as well. Okay, might have to wiggle it around a little bit. There we go. Now we got the bottom cover off. Alright, so the customer is having some issues with their hard drive on this one. It is pretty dusty as well. This one also has an M.2 slot. I don't know if it supports PCIe NVMe or not. The other one, I googled it and it looks like it does, so this might support that as well. The insides look very similar. Okay, so I think it's just a smaller model. But anyways, we're gonna clean the dust out of here. Okay, and we're gonna remove the hard drive, and then I'm gonna let the customer test that. So let's go ahead and actually remove the hard drive first. I'm gonna put it in a hard drive enclosure for them, and then we're gonna see about getting the data out of here. If that doesn't work, then their hard drive is completely dead, and they're gonna have to send it to a data recovery place. Okay, so let's go ahead and remove this completely. Again, keep track of these screws because they are different size, shape, and lengths. Alright, 4 screws holding that hard drive caddy in place. Then you can lift it up from this metal bracket here. Try and get the bracket, not the foil piece. There we go. Alright, and then we're going to pop this connector off just like the other one that I did right before this. Okay, here we go. And then you got 4 screws holding this in place. We're going to take that off as well, just like the other one. Okay, I mean, if you don't watch all my videos, you'll probably be confused what I mean when I'm saying like the other one. But I worked on a model earlier today. That was a Dell Inspiron 5770, I think. And this one I think is 5570, something like that. So they're very similar. Okay, get all 4 screws off. Okay, now that we've got all 4 screws out, we're gonna pop the hard drive out of here. Just get this caddy off. Alright, just like that. And then I'm gonna get an enclosure, and then we'll see how that works. I'm gonna clean up the dust later, but for now I'm just gonna put it back here. Okay, so we're just gonna put this back here. All right, I'm gonna bring the hard drive out to my customer and let them see how it works. All right, and then I'll be back and I'll see you guys in a bit. All right. All right, so I'm back. Customer ended up deciding that they just wanted the data, so I put their hard drive in a USB enclosure, and then they decided to let me have the laptop in exchange. So I didn't charge them anything. I'm actually going to put a new SSD in this laptop, and then I will end up using this most likely. It has 16 gigs of RAM in it. I'm gonna try a PCIe NVMe SSD, so I have this 1 terabyte SSD. I had another customer that ended up getting a new laptop. They didn't need this, and I basically did the same thing. So we're going to take the SSD from here. Oops, make sure to take out the screw first. Okay, let's zoom in and see if I can show this. I'm probably going to put SSD for additional storage just to be safe. So if I need to work on things, I have more room. Okay, so, and also because this SSD is used, I'm kind of a little bit worried it might fail. So let's go ahead and put this in here. Okay, and then, so there's a M.2 PCIe NVMe SSD. And then I'm going to take a this 480 gig SSD here. It's a Crucial BX500. All right. If you need, I can post a link. If you want to help me out, I can post like an Amazon affiliate link. It doesn't charge you anything extra on Amazon. But yeah, I can post those, and then you can use those to buy stuff on Amazon, and it will help me out. All right. So let's go ahead and close this up. All right. So we got that. Let's go ahead and put the SSD in here. So the SSD bracket, I think it went this way. So the nice thing with this is if you end up not using the bracket, they have these little holes here that you can actually push these hard drive screws into. It's a little bit tough to do it. I don't want to end up tearing this plastic a little, but you can actually put the screws into these 4 little holes there. But again, I am going to install this SSD here, so let's go ahead and do that. So it goes that way. So we're going to put the SSD into this bracket, just like this. Okay, get it lined up. All right. Let's go ahead and put the screws in. All right. I don't really need this much storage because now I'm going to have 1.5 terabytes. My old laptop only had 500 gigs. But I figured the more important stuff, I can have it constantly making a backup here just to be safe. Though for certain stuff, I mean, that's what cloud storage is for. All right. To keep your stuff safe that way. But if it's more sensitive stuff, then I'll keep it directly on the computer. All right, so there we go. We got the 4 screws back in. Let's go ahead and plug this drive back into the connector. You want to be careful because the cable under there is fragile. So I'm going to hold this here and I'm going to push the drive over with my thumb. So just like, oops, it ended up, this was easier to pull, so it went that way. All right. There we go. So that cable hopefully is okay. I'm not going to take all of this out. There's the keyboard connector here, the keyboard backlight connector here, trackpad connector here, and then this connector goes to here. And then there's the small connector here underneath. This is for the hard drive. Of course, you have the optical disk drive. These connectors, this latch, you pull this straight up and then the connector will come out. These other ones have these little flipping latches. So this has a slot for a fingerprint sensor, but there's no fingerprint sensor installed on here. Okay, so yeah. All right, so I cleaned out their fan, looks all nice. Again, 2 sticks of RAM, just like the other model. You just pull these tabs and it pops up like that, and then you can pull this out. Okay, I'm not gonna pull everything out. If you wanna see, I do a bunch of these where I kind of take these kinds of things out. There's 1 screw there, you can pull the tails of the antennas up. You got this connector here. I believe this is for the webcam. All right. Actually, is that the power jack connector? Okay, so this is actually for the charge port, DC jack. And then these are the wireless antennas. So you got this, and then you got the screen connector here. So I guess I don't see another separate cable for the camera, so it might be all in this one connector here. Okay, so there we go. We got that SSD in. Let's go ahead and put back the 4 screws holding this hard drive in place. Okay. I'm going to try and find some replacement screws to help hold the CD drive in place, since they lost a few. And this design for the hinge, at least on the bottom, is pretty good because you can see how much surface area there is to help hold it in place. The only thing is when the computer is disassembled, it doesn't have much grip. So I'm going to actually add some thread locker here to help with that. So right now, see, there's only this one screw holding this whole hinge in place. So I'm going to have to add some thread locker for this. Because this is going into plastic, I'm going to try and be safe, and I'm going to use the blue thread locker here. And I'll just use quite a bit. Alright, thread locker can sometimes actually eat through the plastic, so you want to be careful. You don't want to use way too much. Okay, so just a little, like a drop or even less. Okay, so we'll get that screw in. You want to be careful opening and closing the laptop when it's like this because, again, there's only one screw holding this whole hinge down. Okay, on this side there's plenty of screws, which is nice. I'm actually going to add thread locker to all these screws just to help it. And also the customer lost one of the important screws that help hold this in place, so that's why we have to be extra careful. So this screw is supposed to help with the hinge, and that's on the bottom side of the cover. So when we put the cover back, you'll see I'm going to find a screw that fits that just so I can kind of beef it up, make it a little bit stronger, because I don't want that to break. When the hinges break, it's kind of a major pain to work on, so let's go ahead and get this screw in as well. Okay, and then I'm just going to install Windows on this computer for my personal use. Okay, so we got this. I don't really use computers too much. I don't really game on them or anything. So this can take over my regular computer. My old laptop was also like an old customer computer that was failing, and they no longer wanted to fix it. It wasn't worth the cost. So that one I ended up fixing. I actually ended up paying them a lot for that one, like more than I should have, but it's okay. It served me well for several years. Alright, so let's go ahead and put this down into place. Okay. So when the customer, like after I gave them the stuff and fixed their, or helped them get their data, they were still asking me like how much they should pay, and I was like, oh, that's okay, don't worry about it. So yeah, for me, the value of this computer will be more than whatever I was going to charge, so it's plenty good trade. Okay. All right, so there we go. We got that. Let's go ahead and get the screws for the CD drive back in place. Okay. So I got the two screws here that were underneath. Okay, I'm gonna have to find replacement CD drive screws for this. So I got that. Let's go ahead and get the CD drive and put that back in. Hopefully the CD drive still works, because then I don't have to use my USB CD drive when people need help with their CDs. Alright, did I remove some extra screws? I have 4 other screws that I took out and I didn't put back. Let me make sure. Okay, let's get this. Alright, let's pop this back out. Oh, actually, okay, I know. Oops, I almost forgot to take out the CD drive screws. Don't forget those, of course. I think I mixed up some screws here, and I think I put the ones from the other laptop in. They're basically the same thing, but I want to make sure I get the right screws for the right computer. So let's go ahead and, yeah, let's take these back out, and I'm going to get the right screws that came from this computer back in. Sorry guys, this is ending up extra time for no reason. Okay. These are actually for the other one, because that one, yep. Okay, so let's go ahead and put my actual screws back in. Sorry, I'm working on both those Dell laptops at the same time. You'll see the other video. I'm going to upload both of these around the same time. So depending which one you're watching, you'll see the insides look very, very similar. The model number is also very similar. I think this one is a smaller laptop. I think the other one's actually a 17-inch laptop, and this is a 15-inch laptop. Okay, so we got all the screws in. Okay, let's go ahead and put this cover back on. Just line it up and then just push everything back in. This you have to kind of push by hand once you get all the other clips in. All right. Okay, just like that. Make sure everything clips into place. Okay, I don't need these camera covers. Some people like these, but I don't really like these. I'm gonna peel it off. The only thing is I don't know if this computer's touchscreen. I'm gonna miss that feature because the other laptop has touchscreen. It makes a lot of stuff I work on like nice, so I might have to, I'll just keep both laptops, and depending on whenever I need the touchscreen, I'll use that. So I don't care if people see through my webcam or something. I'm not too worried about it. So we'll just leave that like that. Okay. I'm more worried that they're spying on whatever I'm saying, because people can twist stuff. Well, though technically now with AI, they can just make a voice mimic of you and make it say whatever they want. So I don't know. I don't know how people can use voice as like evidence in court now, because people can basically use AI to make fake robots saying whatever they want, and it will sound exactly like you. So I don't know. Anyways. There we go. Get all of that in. Don't forget these screws, of course. Again, I'm going to have to find some screws for the missing ones that were here. So let's see if I can find some matching screws here. Okay. So let's see. They only have 2, so I need to find another one. The screws on the other model are silver instead of black, so they don't match the bottom cover. But let's see what I got here. Okay, so the screws we're looking for look like this. I don't know what the actual length is, so if you guys want to know, I don't know, just take one of your screws out and then measure it. I think it's in millimeters. I think the width of this screw is like 2 millimeters, and then this is 2, 4, 6, probably like 6 or 7 millimeters. I don't know how they measure it. Okay, so we got that. Then we got those 3. Okay, so we're gonna miss these 2 screws, and those 2 are skinnier screws, so I think I need these. But they're like skinny and they're short, so maybe these 2 screws will do the job. Okay, let's see if that's it. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2. Okay, so hopefully now I got the right screws. Let's stick this one here. Okay, that fits perfectly. Okay, get everything snapped into place. I need to be careful again because there's not all the screws holding it the way it should. So that one is actually wrong, and that one's also wrong. So I think on this model they actually use the same type of screws but shorter. So let's get rid of those small ones, and then let's get some of these wider screws but shorter. The problem is I don't know how short they need to be. If they're too short, you can actually damage, or it might not reach far enough. If they're too long, you can actually damage your computer, so you have to be careful. So let's see if this screw will reach. That's too short. Let's try the slightly longer one. Also too short. Wow, did they use the same long screws for those? I'll be surprised. Okay, let's try one of these. Nope. Okay, so they are the skinny ones, they're just longer, so sorry for this video, guys. I know it's not, I mean, you can fast forward over it. I'm just trying to fix this thing so that I can use it. Want to make sure that it's fixed properly. Okay, I don't want the hinge randomly falling apart. So this screw fits. I don't know if I should use a longer one though. So I need slightly longer screws. Okay, that one works. What about this one? Yep, that one works too. This one looks like I can use a bigger screw, but it's not, I don't have any that are that long, so guess we gotta stick with that. Yep, I don't have that many of that kind of screw, so we'll just stick with that. And hopefully it will be okay. Alright, so there we go. Just because I'm somewhat anal, I'm gonna put the black screw to match the rest, and then the main one that takes apart the CD drive, I'll put the different colored screw. Usually the CD drive screw is different than the rest, so I mean, since I already know what it is, it doesn't matter, but when other people work on it, it makes it easier to tell. Okay, so let's go ahead and put back the rest of these screws. Oh, not that one, this one. Alright, but that's pretty much it. Again, hopefully this video helped you guys. If it did, wait, why is this screw not going in? If it did, please like, subscribe, and share my channel with others. Did I not pop this in right? What is going on here? I don't know why this screw doesn't want to come up or go in or come out. It's stuck. Okay, let's use this to get underneath and pull it back out. Maybe the plastic mount for this is broken. The screw mount for that might be broken. Alright, I'm going to put back these screws here. But again, that's pretty much it. Like, subscribe, share my channel. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. You're welcome to stay while I put back the last few screws. I don't know why this one screw is being weird. But let's see. Actually, let me check one other thing. Are these screws all the same length? Yeah. So I don't know what's going on with that one down there, but it doesn't want to go in. It might be the plastic that holds the screw mount is damaged. Yeah, I think that, oh well, I got it in. Okay. Alright, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna have to buy some little rubber feet for this because it doesn't have them. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye. Let's drop this.